you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something special for breakfast or for brunch. Today is going to be my 3-meat skillet dish, and we're going to get right into the video. I'm going to make it as quick and easy as I can because it was really quick and easy to make. So we're starting off with the meat, which is why it's called 3-meat skillet breakfast dish. I'm using some bacon, which I use 8 strips of bacon. I just diced them up to strips. I use maple sausage links and I diced those up into fine little chunks. And then we're using about a half a cup of diced ham. I love pork, can you tell? So we're gonna throw that all into the pan as you see until it renders its fat and until the sausage and the bacon has cooked all the way through. I like my bacon to have a little bit of crunch to it, so I made sure to cook it a little bit longer just so that my bacon can have that nice crispy texture to it. And once it was done, I then transferred the meat onto a different dish, making sure to leave all the fat in the pan because we're going to use that to cook our potatoes in. Now I used about 6 rough chopped rustic potatoes. Well, what I did do ahead of time, which I did not include in this video, was I actually pre-boiled them just to make sure that it was easy for me to cook them. All I really wanted to do for this part was just to get them browned on the outside. So in order to do that and to make sure they were cooked, I had to pre-boil them earlier. I boiled them and then I flashed them in some cold water to stop the cooking process, and then boom, they're done. So all you do is you just add that to the pot that already has the bacon fat in it, and then we're going to sprinkle some adobo seasoning. I love adobo seasoning. It's just like seasoning salt, but it's like the Mexican style, and I love adding it to dishes like this, especially for my potatoes. It's just perfect seasoning for them. So I'm just letting them cook into the pan until they start to brown on both sides, and then once I get that nice golden brown brownness to them, I then took them out of the pan, put them into a little pot, and set them aside for what's to come. So now we're going to move on to the actual base of this dish, which is the egg. I cracked 6 large eggs and mixed those all together, and then I put 1 tablespoon of butter at the bottom of my cast iron skillet. I love using cast iron skillets for this. It's just really easy to use, and also it looks nice when you set it on top of a table, you know, especially if you have friends and you want to, you know, do that whole family eat thing where you all sit around the table and just pass food over. Perfect decoration for table setting. So I threw in the eggs. Basically what I'm doing is I'm letting them cook on the bottom on the stove, just to get that kind of that shell that I need. And then I season it with adobo seasoning. And then once I let them just get enough cooked on the bottom, I'm going to throw in the egg into the oven. Now as you see, as it cooks, the egg is starting to expand and get bigger, which is what we really want. I want a really good nice inch of egg as my base for my dish. So at the end of it, once it's done and completely done, you're going to get about 1.5 inches of egg at the bottom with using 6 whole eggs. And I have a medium size cast iron skillet that I'm using, if you're wondering. So then once I'm done, voila, you see the egg is starting to brown on its side. It's a little bubbly on the end, and it's done. About, I say, 10 to 15 minutes when the egg was officially done. If you still can't tell if your egg is completely done, then pretty much all you need to do is take a toothpick, insert it in the middle. If it comes out clean, it's done. If it doesn't, then that means it still needs to cook. But I do like my eggs to be a little bit runny. So then after that, I'm going to throw in some cheese. I use 2 different types of cheeses. I use some yellow cheddar and some white cheddar cheese. I'll sprinkle that on the bottom, and then we're going to layer on some of those nice browned potatoes on the top, and then we're going to do like an assembly. So we're going to do the cheese, the potatoes, the meat, and do it again. So it'll be cheese, potatoes, meat, cheese, potatoes, meat, and then we're going to top it off with some green scallions. So I threw in the meat on there just enough to cover the top of the potatoes. I also threw in some scallions. I like that nice pungent taste of onions that you get, so I use some green onions just to make it look even more pretty. And then we're going to do the process all over again with the cheese, potatoes, the meat, and then the scallions to top it off. But I added the scallions at the top toward the end when the actual dish was done cooking, because I wanted that nice vibrant green color to pop on my dish. So I didn't want to add them and then cook them and they turn all brown. So I threw my cheese in there, and then we're gonna set it back into the oven. Don't turn off your oven for this process, and make sure you keep it on. We set it back on top of the oven, let it cook until the cheese was melted, and in 10 minutes you have a nice great dish for breakfast or for brunch. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Love and good eats.